62. Right here with some elves. We are racing the Spa-Francorchamps, I think. And I'm very attractive. With me, as always, is the man who was elected High Counselor of Cheese, Michael Magus.
Oh, it's a very prestigious position. Is this like all cheese or like just a specific subsets of cheeses?
Well, they haven't actually put any limits on the position, so it's up to you to kind of frame that out.
Oh, sir, you can't give me a position that has no limits and expect me to, have any.
The problem is that you have to eat all the Limburger in Limburger County.
I'm fine with this. I love cheese. If you can't tell.
Insert GIF of James May cheese.
We are here at Spa-Francorchamps. This is the final round of the GT4 World Tour, first ever season of GT4s on ACC for ESR. Big round of applause. And we got a championship battle here between Matt Higgs and Paul Riccobeni that is looking good for Higgs because he's up at the top of the timing charts. And Paul, well, he's down in 5th place in his Chevrolet Camaro. They've been having a really strong battle all season long because between the two of them, they have won every race but the opener at Bathurst, which was won by Dominic Turcotte. Mathematically, Turcotte is still in the hunt, but not really. It's one of those, sure, you're mathematically in this, but not really. Also, so are William Murrah and John Archie, but they're really battling it out for 3rd place and looking to get themselves on the podium there. The scratch results makes the math a little bit harder. I'm apologizing. Jeff Wentworth did a whole little piece about all the possible permutations, but I think he ignored the scratch results because he was like, yeah, Mike can totally get on the podium in the silver category. And I'm like, I cannot mathematically do that, but okay. Silver Cup right now is up for grabs between Guillermo Martinez, Cliff Hemian, and Jake Kegley. We'll see who brings it home. And in the bronze category, it's kind of been a blowout. Trevor Chaney is quite a ways ahead, but there is a mathematical chance that Diego Alonso could still take the crown, but he'll need a hell of a result here today. Byron, you remember Spa, fairly well, I assume.
It's made out of concrete, and there's turns here and there.
We've commented on this track a lot. It feels like.
Fair enough. No, I don't.
You don't?
I know what it's called, but I wouldn't. You see that section of track? That looks just like the section of track that's on all the other tracks.
Okay. Well, Jeff Wentworth coming through the bus stop here to put his last time in, trying to better his 8th place on the grid. I do wish there was a little delta there for us to make use of, but he did not manage it, so he will start no better than 8th place. We'll put it that way, depending on how things go here.
But no worse than 73rd.
John Archie pipped Matt Higgs to pole, it looks like, so that's good. And we still got a couple people out there. William Murrah, Paul Riccobeni has a lap to finish. Mike Magus just finished and moved up to 9th place. They improved. Here is William Murrah, who is the fastest car, still able to put in a lap as it comes around the last little bit here. It's him and Paul Riccobeni. I don't know where Riccobeni is, but I feel like he probably won't make it to the end of the lap, so this will be the one. Yeah, Riccobeni with the finish there. And here comes William Murrah. I don't know if that lap counted, but he will start from 4th place. Riccobeni did pop into no, that's Turcotte in 3rd. Never mind. I was going to say Riccobeni had popped up to 3rd, but that is not correct. He will start 5th. So it's Archie, Higgs, Turcotte, Murrah, Riccobeni, Martinez on row 3. Row 4 is Simmons and Wentworth, Magus and Tobin, row 5. Row 6, Alonso McRae, Kegley and Chaney, row 7. Bellotti and Chaney, row 8. That's the other Chaney. And Cliff Hemian at the back of the pack.
So if you get run off the road, are you technically then Bellotted?
Only if Arthur Bellotti does it.
Correct.
So we got the final little bit here of prep time for everyone to get their tires in order, get their fuels in order. This is a single pit stop race with a pit window. I believe it's 20 minutes. And that means that the pit window will open 10 minutes into the race and close with 10 minutes to go. And we'll see what the various ideas of how to take advantage out to the best of people's abilities comes into play. Spa, of course, very interesting in the sense that our start point is not our end point, which makes it quite unique because the race will start after La Source heading down to Eau Rouge, but it will end, well, you see the line there, just after the bus stop. So that's a bit weird.
And then
I've been notified that there is now a video from one of the sports channels I have that has 8 wide receivers were drafted before DK Metcalf. But how?
you'll never believe once you click what happens after you click.
Oh, they do good ones. They break down like how teams fucked up in the draft and took, a bunch of players before this really good player. Which, I mean, it happens. It's the NFL draft. There's always some hidden gems and some massive busts. Ryan Leaf.
I mean, there technically was at least one guy drafted before they drafted Tom Brady.
There was, if I recall correctly, 7 quarterbacks drafted before Tom Brady. And none of them really were all that good. Well, if the race slips into a bit of boredom, we'll break that down. We'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, nothing's happening right now.
Well, we're getting ready for the start, though, in 10 seconds, and that's where some exciting stuff's going to happen as the cars burn their way down to Eau Rouge.
And they all pile into the corner.
I mean, that is what is going to happen. So it will be the Porsche of John Archie leading them away. Championship leader Matt Higgs on the front row in the yellow and black McLaren 570S.
Oh, it's all gone pear-shaped. Max Simmons screwed up again.
Max did screw up a little bit, actually.
Or is that Higgs?
No, that was Simmons. We do have a slight gap forming up there between Guillermo Martinez and where he should both be. Come on, Guillermo. Get up there. Get up there, Guillermo. The golden Porsche a little bit out of order right now.
This is the worst, slowest start I've ever seen.
The GT4 started a little slower than the GT3s.
You feed these guys Quaaludes before the race, or like what's going on?
Here we go. And we are off towards Eau Rouge for the first time here at Spa-Francorchamps. It is Matt Higgs taking the lead from Jonathan Archie. William Murrah is in third, followed by Dominic Turcotte. So Murrah got the jump on Turcotte, and Higgs got the jump on... yeah, I'm correct in that. Higgs got the jump on Archie, so good job by the outside row there. Not so much for... Actually, Guillermo Martinez jumped Paul Riccobeni as well. So the outside row literally jumped everybody on the inside.
Well
that is impressive, gentlemen. Ayrton Tobin's up to 9th. And Cole McRae is in the top 10 somehow. Although Cole McRae does get the elbows out and gives a little shove to Tobin. And that'll probably put him up into 8th place as we focus on Paul Riccobeni, the championship hopeful. Max Simmons going around the outside of Cole McRae. But McRae is going to get the better of that because that McLaren is explosive off of the corners. But he did end up a little bit off there at No Name as we head into Pouillon for the first time. I kind of wish we were getting the whole chaos that is 7th place right now. But we are. There we go. Cole McRae falling behind both Jeff Wentworth in the Ginetta and Michael Magus in the Audi. So that is 8th, 9th, and 10th. Possibly 11th in that mix as well. So Simmons is at the front here, followed by Wentworth. Then it is Magus, like I said. Then it is Wentworth. And the yellow Aston Martin, I believe, is one of the Cheney brothers. I believe that is Trevor Cheney running there. And then it is Diego Alonso. And then the green and black Mercedes of Jake Keckley. So Tobin has fallen way back. I saw him getting shoved off by Cole McRae. And it looks like that has not gone terribly well. Magus leads them through there, and McRae and Cheney are battling as they approach. Oh, wait. Diego Alonso throwing one down on Trevor Cheney and makes the move. Top Aston Martin spot for Diego Alonso in the white Aston Martin, overtaking the yellow Aston Martin of Trevor Cheney. Cheney has been a revelation in this series. He has done so well and is well on his way to shedding his bronze label for a silver one. Matt Higgs in the lead. So obviously, not much to talk about championship-wise. Higgs is winning. Higgs will win the championship. That's how that really works. He has to get beaten by some people if we really want to get this to be spicy and juicy.
Put him in the wall.
Higgs has taken 3 victories, winning at Suzuka, Kyalami, and Donington already this season, and would love to add Spa-Francorchamps to the list. In the meantime, Jeff Wentworth going around the outside of Matt Higgs. And that will, or not Matt Higgs, Max Simmons, pardon me. And that is for 7th place for the little Ginetta.
What's this about Max Higmans?
Oh, they become one person. I love this. Maximum Higgs. Anyways, I do hope we go on board actually with Jeff Wentworth. That Ginetta sounds kind of comical next to all the other cars. It's got a little go-kart engine in it, and it definitely limits it on the straightaways. It has such a power disadvantage to basically everybody else. But it is a fun little car to drive. I think actually if you're looking to do a twisty track, the Ginetta is a good option. Just make sure to keep away from the power tracks in it. I think in the upcoming season, it'll actually be a pretty good investment because there's some lesser power tracks coming up in the GT4 British Tour, and I think someone will probably make something happen. So I hope to see one on the grid.
And then we've got the one that's literally 17,000 kilometers of straight line.
There isn't really one like that in GT4, actually. There's no, like, can't turn straight line one. Diego Alonso going around Cole McRae. Oh, no!
Dang.
He hits Michael Magus in the back and spins out the Audi. And they will drop pretty close to the back, I would think. They might rejoin ahead of Seth Cheney. There is a little bit of a gap there. So
remember, kids, best practice is to spin a wheelie and pull backwards into traffic immediately.
No, don't do that.
It's pretty funny.
Matt Higgs continues to lead with John Archie in hot pursuit, followed by William Murrah and Dominic Turcotte. Looks like Paul Riccobeni has dropped a bit back. Oh, no, there he is. I was going to say, the gap says only 0.6 of a second. That's a bit weird. He's actually lost a spot to Guillermo Martinez, actually. Martinez has always been ahead of him. That was right. He jumped him at the start. But, the top 6 are kind of in a race of their own. And then further back, you'll find Wentworth, who is getting kind of lonely right now, pulling away from Max Simmons in the KTM, which is another interesting little car. Side by side here into No Name. Archie trying to hang on. Pushes Murrah very wide, but Murrah gets the job done, and that is 2nd place for the Merc. Dominic Turcotte looking down the inside of Pouillon, thinks better of it. And we will then head into La Frange to continue this little battle, this little 3-way fight for 2nd place. Hoping that Paul
loser wins 14th place.
Ayrton Tobin in the pit lane. That is unscheduled because the window is not open. I am hoping Paul Riccobeni gets up past Guillermo Martinez, which is not a knock on Guillermo, but Paul is kind of the guy who drives any championship discussion here. And him being back in 6th place is kind of making it all a moot point.
Moot point, sir. There's no such thing as a silent point.
Yes, sir, you are correct. Although my nose has decided to randomly get stuffy, and I'm probably going to sneeze in the near future.
It sounds like you need to ram a couple of feather dusters up there and clean that out.
Oh, that would be torture. Absolute torture. All this fighting is letting Matt Higgs get away. He now leads by a tune of about 2.6 seconds as they head through the bus stop. And it's getting tight because you can see Riccobeni and Martinez are now right up on the back here. So it is a 5-way fight for second place. And John Archie looks at it, thinks about it going into La Source, thinks better of it, and Murrah continues to lead this train. I do really like that Allied Racing Porsche livery that John Archie is sporting there. It actually makes me want to drive a Porsche. Pit window will open up next time around the pit lane entrance as Dominic Turcotte gets a run there through Eau Rouge and into Les Combes and takes the spot. Looks like John Archie's a bit weak coming from out of Eau Rouge, honestly. Got victimized by Murrah and now by Turcotte in the Mercedes, so either they're particularly strong through there or he's having trouble. He was on pole, so I suspect it might just be the Mercedes being very strong through Eau Rouge as he looks down the inside of Bruxelles, but will not commit to the move. Now, if he gets rolled up on by Martinez in Eau Rouge, then we know he's particularly weak there because that's the same car.
Is it true that the next person who abused track limits gets sent to Senegal?
I mean, it's possible.
Neat.
So Martinez doing a good job of putting himself in a great spot for the Silver Cup right now. Quite a ways ahead of the man that he is battling with for that trophy, which is Cliff Hemian back in 12th place, 4th amongst the Silvers. He's got Cole McRae and Jake Keckley between them. Tobin's still in the pit lane, suggesting problems. Although this pit lane is obscenely long if we get a look at it when someone heads in. And you basically lose pretty well damn near a full lap with a pit stop. As they head through, and the pit window will open in a couple of seconds right now. And we'll see if anybody dives in early to take their mandatory stop and get some fresh rubber on the car.
If you do not pit immediately, you will be executed.
That's not how it works, no. If you do not pit in 20 minutes, you'll be executed.
If you do not pit immediately, you'll be sent to Gulag.
I mean, that seems worse than the execution part.
My boy Dalbeer asked me today why I only cook meat, which is not totally true, but that's basically what I upload pictures of. And it's like, oh, I was actually really thinking about that the other day. That every time I post something, Dalbeer can't really take part because he's Hindu. And I'm like, oh, I'll make some like roast vegetable soup or something for you. He's like, oh, that'd be great. He asked me something about custard, and I'm like, custard's got eggs in it, dude. Are you allowed to have eggs? I don't know about that.
I'm not sure if they are.
He is not allowed to have eggs.
Okay.
He said that they are restricted in his area or something like that. I think translated poorly. And I said something about having him sent to the gulag for eating eggs, and he didn't know what a gulag was.
Oh.
But he knows now.
Now he knows. He has been enlightened to the path of the gulag. So, we completely missed it, but something happened to Martinez because he's fallen off the back of this group, and Riccobeni's up at a 5th now. So, not what I had in mind when I said I wanted Riccobeni to get past him, but I guess that is how the cookie crumbles. Still Wentworth, Simmons, Keckley, Cheney, rounding off the top 10. And then Bellotti, Hemian. Cole McRae's back down to 13th place. Not sure what happened there. Was higher in the pecking order.
Who's getting high?
Well, it was Cole McRae. Now he's not. As that is John Archie heading into the pit lane to get an early stop in and see if he can get some clear air to bring his speed to the fore. He did start on pole, so this is not a bad idea to go for the undercut. So quarterbacks taken for Tom Brady. I threatened that this would happen. Chad Pennington. Not bad. Chad Pennington was pretty good. Giovanni Carmazzi, who doesn't even have a Wikipedia page or a Pro Football Reference page. That's a bust. Chris Redmond, T. Martin, Mark Bolger, who had a decent career, and Spurgeon Wynn, who I more know for being in the CFL than the NFL. That's never a great sign. Those were all taken before Tom Brady. All of those teams fucked up. Really
Is
badly.
it true that Tom Brady was taken in the 93rd round of the NHL supplementary draft?
Probably. By the way, Spurgeon Wynn was taken 16 picks before Tom Brady by the Cleveland Browns. Congratulations.
Of course. I don't. Have the Cleveland Browns ever drafted a good player, TM?
Well, they've drafted a number of good players. It's just their quarterback choices had historically been bad. Although Baker Mayfield is doing well, so.
Oh, they had Andy Dalton. I don't know what I'm talking about. Never mind.
That's Cincinnati.
Same thing.
I mean, in the sense that they're both hopeless, yes.
They're virtually indistinguishable.
This is one of the tracks where you can make the over. You can really make the over or the undercut work quite well, because the advantage of the pit lane being so long is that you will get out in fresh air pretty much. You can see John Archie is still in the pits and well behind the entire field, so he'll be able to put pedal to the metal and do fastest laps he can do. We'll see who else comes in, as it is still 15 guys to pit. William Murrah sporting the Boulet Racing livery.
Like the action comedy starring young Robert Redford.
Yes, sir.
Wrong! It wasn't Robert Redford. And that guy's going the wrong way.
He's going into the pit lane.
Exactly.
Dominic Turcotte dodging into the pit lane to try to make a bit of an undercut happen.
Bullet had Steve McQueen in it.
Right. I've actually seen very little of Steve McQueen's work, surprisingly.
He's done some good movies.
I've been told this.
Rich Cassidy and Sundance Kid.
I've just never gotten around to really giving his filmography a proper watching.
Which was he in the Magnificent Seven?
Mm-hmm.
Which is hilarious. It's one of my favorite scenes, especially when somebody who knew about the backstory on things kind of explained it to me in the commentary. There's the scene where Yul Brynner and Steve McQueen are getting up into the carriage to drive the dude up to the cemetery, and for some inexplicable reason, Steve McQueen starts checking the shotgun shells, like shaking them and like listening to how they shake and what they sound like for no reason. There's no reason to do this. It's just to kind of like get the camera to pay attention to him. And Yul Brynner looks over at him, gives him a bit of a look, and kind of tilts his hat up a little bit, as if to say, all I have to do is take my fucking hat off and all the shine goes to me, man. You better calm down. I am the one they paid to see. I am the one with the bald head to this trademark TM.
Diego Alonso running in 11th place at the moment. That's Michael Maggis ahead of him in the Audi. These two had contact earlier, but have both managed to continue on their way. And they are trying to hunt down Cliff Hemian in the yellow and black Mercedes. We are, of course, doing this this commentary a bit later than usual. You could blame RWB Charger. Send all your complaints, care of RWB Charger, to his address, which I don't have. Dominic Turcotte has come out of the pits ahead of John Archie by quite a bit, so the undercut for Archie not really working out here. Seth Chaney, Cole McRae, and Arthur Belodi making their way out of the pits as well. William Murray's in. We'll see where he comes out, but the race leader, Matt Higgs, continues on through Eau Rouge once again.
Eau Rouge, Spanish for the red.
Oh, we lost somebody. Who did we lose? We lost Arthur Belodi. Oh, no.
Must have given it the beans.
Looks like the internet may have given out for our Brazilian racer. Paul Riccobeni also going fairly long to try to jump some traffic, but I don't know what his plan is for dealing with the ultimate question of how do you get past Matt Higgs and make the Arch hope for a championship come alive.
Double odd buckshot.
Maybe. Matt Higgs was trying to get one of our other racers to give up my address so he could come and get the drop on me, as he said. But I was right there, so I don't know why he thought this was going to work.
It was probably one of those jokes.
Indeed. Diego Alonso running in 9th place. Although this is a temporary 9th place, he will drop down the order when he pits. Looks like he is. I wouldn't even say going all that long, but about half the grid has made their way down the pit lane. And we do have more than half a race to go. So a number of people trying some form of the undercut right now.
You should actually be trying to do the supercut. That's more popular.
Supercuts are very popular.
For instance, the supercut of every jab landed by GSP versus Josh Koscheck.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I know you enjoy that. That may be your favorite supercut of all time.
Dink, 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 dink. Go on with the broken face.
Mm-hmm. Matt Brown, by the way, talking about how he would love to be Demian Maia's retirement fight. And I'd be down for seeing that. Because Demian Maia's talking about how his next fight might be his last. And, I mean, I can think of things that I would like to see more, but that's pretty high up on the list.
Mm-hmm. Didn't they fight once before?
I think they did, and I believe Maia submitted him.
Correct. Oh, yeah, they did, yeah. But that was a grind fest. Like, he really had to work for that one.
Yeah, it was a surprisingly competitive fight because Brown has actually historically had somewhat of a problem with the submission defense game, so it was interesting.
His best submission defense is the old one, too, and he knocked you the fuck out.
So Higgs is in the pits, as is Martinez, Trevor Chaney. So Paul Riccobeni is now your leader, with this man Jeff Wentworth in 2nd place in the Ginetta. My lord, even not in the car, I can hear that Ginetta and just kind of chuckle to myself with the way it sounds. Diego Alonso going for another lap. You can see one of the Porsches coming out of the pits there. I believe that's by press of elimination. It probably has to be Martinez. But he is heading on his way to rejoin the race. And here is the battle for the lead of the pit stoppers, excluding Matt Higgs, who has not come out yet. And that is Murrah, Turcotte, and Archie in the same order as they pitted. So nothing really changing there in the pit stopping order. So John Archie's undercut has failed. We'll have to see if he can get past these two Mercedeses the old-fashioned way. Unless they somehow jump Higgs, that would be interesting, but somewhat unlikely. See where that McLaren rejoins. Looks like he has rejoined quite a ways ahead, actually. So no real drama there. Archie on the attack into Lecombe. Trying to go around the outside of Dominic Turcotte. Not really sure if this is on, but tip my hat to Archie. I appreciate the effort. Oh, that was a lot more on than I thought it would be. Yeah, but Turcotte hangs on and retains the position into Malady. Wentworth and Simmons into the pit lane.
Wentworth!
We'll see where they come out. Oop, Keckley in as well. John Archie is still definitely looking to get around Dominic Turcotte here. So the undercut has failed him, but that doesn't mean he's given up on getting onto this podium. Magnussen, Alonso in, so Riccobeni will be the last pit stopper, leading the race. Trying to jump this group. We'll see if he is successful. He might be, honestly, because they are now fighting pretty hard with one another, and Riccobeni's out there cruising, presumably in clear air. So a chance to make the overcut work. As Archie goes around the outside at Blanchimont. Might have picked up a track warning there, but if the steward doesn't look at that, he'll be fine and will take what might be effectively third place.
What if he literally explodes, killing every spectator, and still crosses the line?
Well, he doesn't even have to cross the line. There was the story of how a Nissan GTR won the Bathurst 12-hour without ever finishing the race.
Did most of the car just explode over the line?
Pretty much there was a gigantic pileup on the mountain towards the end of the race, and all the cars were out, basically.
Very nice. How much of the car has to explode across the line before it's counted as a finish?
I believe half the car.
Very nice. And how much of the driver has to be included?
I don't believe there's any inclusion for the driver.
No, very nice. So you're saying drivers are superfluous and second-class citizens?
Well, they're needed for the race, but I mean, if the car makes it over the line, we don't really care about the driver.
I challenge somebody to jump out of the car on the final straightaway and still win.
I mean, drive-through penalty for Diego Alonso. Looks like he might have sped in the pit lane. That is going to be absolutely terrible for him because that pit lane is very, very long. Very long. And his quest for a top 10 probably coming to an end right now. And also a bronze win because he was at the front of the bronze category here today. And will probably fall behind both Cheneys easily. Anyways, I was going to say Nigel Mansell did in fact finish a race once when his body did not cross the finish line. The car ran out of gas, and he got out of the car, pushed the car over the line, and collapsed from heat exhaustion.
That's pretty funny.
So he never crossed the line, but he did get a 5th place finish off that. So Riccobeni is in the pits, and that's kind of our last real look at things going on right now. Where does Riccobeni come out? And it is of great interest to these men, John Archie, William Murrah, and Dominic Turcotte, who are fighting for podium positions with Mr. Riccobeni. Cliff Hembian is just having a rotten day down in 14th place.
Maybe he's having a really good day. Maybe he's just enjoying himself.
I mean, he could be having he's having a rotten race. There we go. He may be having an amazing day.
Wow. Maybe he's just really having a blast and you're just saying all kinds of negative things here.
I think it's fair to say. Oh, there's Paul Riccobeni coming out of the pit lane. Saw him in the background. Where is it going to be? Riccobeni was 6th before the pit stop. His championship hopes are dwindling, and he is coming out behind this group, so he has not managed a tremendous overcut.
Maybe he should go down to the barber and get a different kind of cut.
Maybe. I think he may have beaten Martinez out of the pit, so he did get one spot, but not a tremendous win for the Camaro driver on the overcut. So, at the end of the pit stops, it is Matt Higgs leading the way from William Murrah, John Archie, Dominic Turcotte, Paul Riccobeni, Guillermo Martinez, Max Simmons, Jeff Wentworth, Jake Keckley, Trevor Cheney, Michael Magus, Diego Alonso, but he has a drive-through penalty that will probably drop him behind Seth Cheney, as well as possibly Cliff Hemian, though Hemian is quite a ways back, so maybe not him. William Murrah defending against John Archie. Second place on the line here between the Mercedes and the Porsche. They have kind of left Dominic Turcotte in the dust. And presumably we'll see Alonso serve that drive-through shortly. You have 3 laps to serve a drive-through penalty. Might be waiting to the last possible moment. Archie got the run. I would love to see there we go. John Archie with another great run through Blanchimont and makes the overtake happen. You don't see a lot of overtakes at Blanchimont, and we've seen 2 from John Archie here in the last little bit. A little banging with William Murrah, but I think second place will belong to the Porsche. Murrah is not giving up. Still has the pressure on. And Archie closes the door. Murrah goes down the inside at La Source. Might have it. Oh boy, these two might go side by side to Eau Rouge. Get ready, everybody. This could be terrible. Looks like Murrah backed out of that before Eau Rouge. Thought better of it. But he is now on the tail of John Archie. We've seen Archie get a couple of bad runs through Eau Rouge, and Murrah now has the run on the Campbell Straight heading towards Lake Coombe.
Assalamu alaikum.
But he has to go around the outside of the Porsche. Can he make it happen? It'll be the inside on the second portion. A little bit of a track cut there. Nothing ridiculous, though. Still side by side through Malady. Heading into Bruchelle. Oh boy. This is the longest overtake sequence I think we've seen in a long time. And Murrah gets the job. No, maybe not. He does have the inside to No Name. I think he's got it. But he could fuck it up easily. They head to Pouillon. And it is John Archie in front. Oh my lord. This is somewhat insane. And Archie, after that, is victorious to a degree, but we'll see if Le Franche produces another turn in the story. No, okay.
Maybe.
I think I can say Archie, for now, has the position. Alonso still has not served that drive-through penalty. I mean, I know Spa is a long lap, but he's got to do that soon.
If you don't serve the drive-through, do they make you go work drive-through for about 5 years?
You get disqualified. You get the black flag.
You gotta go work McDonald's drive-through for a period of 5 years.
So Archie, Murrah, Turcotte, Riccobeni. Here's Trevor Cheney, who has been caught by Magus and Alonso. Battle for 10th place. Cheney in the lead of the bronze trophy right now. And looking to punch his ticket towards his first ESR hardware in terms of a trophy. Alonso is still in the mix there as Merle loses a spot to Dominic Turcotte. Interesting. Not sure what happened there. Max Simmons heads through Eau Rouge with Jeff Wentworth on his tail. And Alonso in the pit lane to serve his drive-through. Enjoy the sounds of the KTM and the Ginetta motors.
I was enjoying the helicopter.
Helicopter as well. I like how we have standing spectators, but no one in the actual stands. Oh, a little bit of a snap of the wheel there from Trevor Chaney. Mike Magus is going to take advantage and move on through into the top 10. His car showing a little bit of the damage from the earlier contact with Alonso.
Alonso morning?
No, not that Alonso morning. I think he'd be showing more signs of that at this point. I've never had contact with Alonso morning, but I feel like that'd be a thing.
Giggity?
I feel like that'd be like a forearm to the chest. We can ask the Van Gundy who was hanging on to Morning's leg about that during that one fight. That Audi is so goddamn high off the ground. I would like to assure our viewers that the ground distance you are seeing for the Audi, that is as low as it goes in comparison to the other cars.
Well, I mean,
it has no real
give it a lift kit.
Oh, it can go higher. It isn't getting any lower.
Going lower is for noobs. It's more ground resistance.
Not in racing, my friend. You want to get that as low as possible.
No, that's foolishness.
You want to get that low, baby.
You want to get it up in the air so you can put 5 more tires underneath it. More contact.
Dominic Turcotte battling with William Murrah. So whatever happened to Murrah, he's still fighting. Still not sure what happened there when he lost 3rd place, but it is on. Just out of curiosity, I pulled up the fastest pit stop times of anybody, and the winner of the fastest pit delta today, Max Simmons. Minute 33 flat. 1/10 of a second faster than Matt Higgs, and then Dominic Turcotte was 3rd. The slowest man in the pit stop was 2 minutes 47 seconds for Cliff Hemme, and I suspect there was some damage involved in that.
That might be accurate.
Considering he took more time in the pits than Diego Alonso, who pitted twice. Keep that in mind. So it's not quite a full lap here. At 90 plus seconds, though, you are looking at a good 3/4 of a spa lap.
I mean, you just got to go faster and get way more laps in.
Well, there is a pit lane speed limit, sir.
That's there to be broken. That's only a suggestion.
No, it's really not.
It's not even a school zone.
The game takes it very seriously.
You just got to, duck behind somebody else so that the camera thinks it's the other guy.
Well, if he's doing the speed limit and you're ducked behind him, you're not going to be able to go above the speed limit.
That's not true. I've seen people drive through other people in this game.
That is only at the beginning when the cars are ghosted.
Well, the pit lane's not even the beginning.
Michael Magus and Trevor Cheney battling for 10th spot. Magus got through pretty easily, but has not, and caught and got through relatively easily, but he has not pulled away. They're still very, very close together, about half a second. Quite a ways behind Jake Keckley, so I don't think they're any threat to him. Keckley is having the loneliest of all races right now. He is 21.5 seconds behind Jeff Wentworth. And once Magus hits a timeline, there we go. He's about 13 seconds ahead of Mike Magus. He does not have another car around him for 34 seconds. And the battle for second place continues. Or third place, pardon me. Turcotte versus Murrah. I forgot that John Archie's up there in second place. Mercedes still battling for their bragging rights. As well as a potential shot at third place, although I think Murrah has that fairly well sewed up. Dominic Turcotte does own the tiebreaker between the two, though, because he did win that race at Mount Panorama, Bathurst. So if it ends in a tie, he will have that tiebreaker. Archie also in that mix. They're all looking at low 400-point range here. See who comes out on top.
That would be the tallest person.
And Paul Riccobeni looking to get his big American ass in here. Oh, William Murrah with a drive-through. That's got to be for track cut. And Murrah peels off to serve that penalty right away.
Sir, I would like to remind you that there is no speeding on the track cuts. Only normal speed track cuts.
So Murrah serving that penalty on the last lap here. Because otherwise, that will be turned into a 90-second penalty. Although we did establish that it's going to be like a good 60-second loss just going through the pits. Be interesting to see where he comes out.
The other end of the pit lane.
But it will definitely promote, without a doubt, Guillermo Martinez, Max Simmons, and Jeff Wentworth. We're all within 30 seconds of it. Riccobeni looking to make the move here into Les Combes. He got a hell of a run off of Eau Rouge. And Turcotte just has to tuck in behind him. Wow. That Camaro flies off of Eau Rouge, apparently. At least that time. And that is a podium for Paul Riccobeni. It's not going to be good enough for him to take anything more than second in the championship, though. He needs Matt Higgs to, well, have a Matt Higgs moment, because Matt Higgs is somewhat famous for throwing away victories.
From the jaws of victory, he snatches defeat once again.
Well, he did that at Suzuka in the Sunday series. He did that at I don't remember what the other series was. The other race was Imola, I think. Maybe. But he has done it more than enough times without really any pressure being applied. So that 9.6 second lead, that does not mean that he is driving safe, but he is on his last lap at this point.
I'm going to be honest with you. Every time you say Eau Rouge, I want to go get a beef tip with the Eau Jus.
I don't blame you.
Curse my brain and its name association.
I don't know why you're not doing that right now.
Well, fuck this then. I'm out. Peace.
I mean, stick around to the end of the commentary, but then go treat yourself.
Actually, I don't know of anything anywhere close that I could get a beef dip.
It's got to be somewhere.
There's definitely places. I'm just not going to go there.
Gotcha.
It's too friggin' hot out.
What is the temperature out today?
According to my computer, 27 degrees. But
it is actually only 16 right now.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to get up to like 34 by the end of the week.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I got new curtains on the front window.
Well, sorry, Paul Riccobeni, but Matt Higgs has finished the race. He is your winner. John Archie, second. Riccobeni, third. Turcotte fourth. So barring any insane penalties, Matt Higgs is your champion.
Would like to congratulate Matt Higgs for completing an entire race when not actually pressured into crashing.
Well, there was a little pressure earlier on, but not much. Martinez finishes fifth ahead of Simmons and Wentworth. We await the confirmation of Jake Heckley as eighth place. As you see some people doing some celebratory donuts over at La Source.
Should have done that on all the corners. It would have been cool.
Keckley is eighth. There is Keckley passing through the frivolities. And William Murrah will take ninth place just ahead of Michael Magus, rounding off the top 10. Then it's the Cheneys, Trevor and Seth, Alonso, and Hemian, your final finishers. Although everybody's leaving the server, so it's making it hard to get the end results proper.
Well, you have it all written down, don't you?
Yeah, fortunately, Race App has that covered. Higgs, Archie, Riccobeni, Turcotte, Martinez, Simmons, Wentworth, Keckley, Murrah, Magus, your top 10. Followed by Trevor Cheney, Seth Cheney, Cliff Hemian, Diego Alonso, your top 14. Cole McRae, Arthur Bellotti, and Ayrton Tobin did not finish the race.
Why
not? Bellotti, I think, had a connection issue. I don't know about McRae or Tobin.
What a bunch of slackers. They probably got all hopped up on the heroin and just took a nap.
Perhaps. Your fastest lap of the day was 2:31.329. That was done by Jonathan Archie. And in the overall standings, Matt Higgs is your winner. 9 points ahead of Paul Riccobeni, followed by Dominic Turcotte on 408. He actually did end up tied with William Murrah and got the tiebreaker based on that win that he took at Bathurst. And it was that drive-through penalty that did Murrah in.
He will be sent to Gulag.
Because had he finished in the... Let's say that Riccobeni overtakes them both. Had he finished in fifth place, he would have finished third overall. John Archie in fifth, Jeff Wentworth sixth, Guillermo Martinez, Cliff Hemian, Jake Keckley, and Trevor Cheney round off the top 10. In the bronze category, your winner is Trevor Cheney ahead of Diego Alonso by 24 points at the end of the season. Arthur Bellotti in third, quite a ways back. The gold winner, Dominic Turcotte, just ahead of John Archie by 3 points. Higgs won the platinum, and silver went to Guillermo Martinez by 12 points over Cliff Hemian, with Jake Keckley in third place. So those are the rostrums for this series. Byron, do you have anything final to add?
Maresy Dotes and Dozy Dotes and Little Lambsy Divey, Kiddly Divey too, wouldn't you?